Welcome. Welcome to Pink Lady Presents. I keep telling everyone that to me, this is the best time of my life. It really is. I entered my 88th year, so I'm 87, entered my 88th year a few days ago. And to me, this is like the beginning. When I have people like Franny McCartney on, I mean, I am like thrilled beyond words. So tell me something, Franny. You're a singer. You're an actress. Give me another description of what can I say? You're a writer?
I don't write much. I'm an entertainer.
Okay.
I'll take your writing and make it entertaining.
I get it. And you've been doing this for how long?
For eons.
Eons.
For a long time.
But when did you actually start? What age?
Probably in the 1970s.
Okay.
When, and I didn't choose to become a professional. I just was doing it for joy and love. I always sang. My family sang. We all sang. It was.
But everybody did, right? I mean,
yeah,
it was like,
everybody did.
In those days, really, am I kidding? People would sit around,
yeah,
and the family would get together, and they would just talk and sing. And
right.
Oh, wait a minute! Oh, Uncle Charlie. Well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to play my ukulele or
right,
something.
Right.
And Aunt Emily would do something or chime in. And that was fun in those days.
Yeah,
I think we should bring that all back.
Yeah.
But before we do anything else and before we learn all about Franny, I would like you to take our audience on a musical voyage. So you've got it. Okay. It's all yours.
Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm so delighted. I'm going to do this, a wonderful old song, actually written in 1932 by Arlen and Kohler, for the Cotton Club Review of 1932. And Cab Calloway did it first. But since then, everybody has done this song, including one of my favorites, Frank Sinatra, and on, I mean, everybody. So hit it, and I'll give it to you. I've got the world on a string. I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. I got a song that I sing, I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life is a beautiful thing. As long as I hold the string, I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let go. 'Cause I got the world on a string. I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Life is a wonderful thing. As long as I hold the string, I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. You know I got the world on a string. I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world! This is the life. Hey there! I'm in love. Love. Thank you so much. One of the best songs ever written. I mean,
You're right.
Now this next tune is a little bit newer than that last tune was. This is from 1942. A fabulous Betty Hutton film, The Fleet's Inn. I love Betty Hutton. She was amazing. She was that ditzy blonde that could make you laugh and make you cry and just entertain you, and was in all those wonderful movies in the 40s. Thank you, Betty Hutton. So here we go. Life was was so peaceful at the drive-in. Life was so calm and serene. Life was tray-gay till that unlucky day I happened to read that magazine. Oh. Why did I read that advertisement where it said, "Since I rumba, pink lady thinks I'm sublime"? Why, oh why did I ever try when I didn't have the talent, I didn't have the money, and teacher did not have the time? Arthur Murray taught me dancing in a hurry. I had a week to spare. He showed me the groundwork, the walk-around work, and told me to take it from there. Arthur Murray then advised me not to worry. It'd turn out all right. To my way of thinking, it came out stinking. I don't know my left from my right. The people around me can all sing a 1 and a 2 and a 3, but any resemblance to waltzing is just coincidental with me, 'cause Arthur Murray taught me dancing in a hurry. And so I take a chance. To me it resembles the 9-day trembles, but he guarantees it's a dance. My tango resembles a 2-step. My samba makes people turn pale. My conga goes into a goose step. And now the FBI is dogging my trail, 'cause Arthur Murray taught me dancing in a hurry. And so I take a chance. My feet are a flurry, my eyes become blurry, but he guarantees it's a dance. Turkey trot or gavotte, don't know which, don't know what. Jitterbug, bunny hug, long as you cut a rug. Walk the dog to the clog, Lindy hop till you drop. Pull the jack back to back, cheek to cheek till you're weak. You've heard of Pavlova, well Jack move over, make way for the queen of the dance.
Ah, I love it.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh my goodness, that was adorable.
Thank you.
We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, with lovely Franny McCartney. Franny, you do so many different genres and songs, from comedy to musical comedy. How did you get into all that?
Well, first, I feel really blessed that I have that ability, and I love so many different kinds of music.
Okay.
And growing up, I heard so many different kinds of music
Well,
because
your
my
mother
family,
took you to music hall, I heard, every afternoon. I
my
mean,
mother, we were very musical, and she took me to every Broadway show, every
Right.
Broadway matinee, because
I
I grew up
love
in
that.
Brooklyn. So we'd hop on the subway and go into New York,
Wow.
and every Broadway show. She was probably, my older brother, she probably didn't want to drag him, but then I was born, and she said, when this kid gets older, she's going to go to every Broadway show. So
Wow.
I saw every Broadway show and loved all that music.
right.
And then one day we're driving in the car, and the radio's on, and they're switching stations, and opera came on, and I'm sitting in the back seat, and I started going, whoa, whoa, and I was like, everybody says it's hard to sing opera. It's not that hard. And I was like, wow, I could do that. So it's kind of really being blessed
Right.
with having that
The ability
DNA
to
or
do it,
whatever.
right.
And so, then I started singing folk music and playing the guitar, and then I started doing this and started playing the piano, I love all the music.
Well, now, your mother was a dancer, am I correct?
Well, she was
a tapper?
My mother tapped, and she sang, and she played the piano. but she was not professional. We just did it for fun.
I see.
We just did it for fun. And of course, she wasn't a stage mother, but she was like, oh, little Franny, look, she could dance. And so we'd go to the Catskills every summer. And, they always had entertainment and the band.
Oh, yes.
And so we'd be out there. And my father and she loved ballroom dancing. And they would dance. And then it would be like, come here, Franny. Or Francine, my full name. Francine.
Okay, Francine.
And so I could do this dancing, this ballroom. And everyone, I was the kid that was like, look at that 3-year-old. She could do that dance. So it was like fun. And my mother then kept proliferating that by giving me tap dancing lessons when I was little, and then piano lessons, and then we always sang. I didn't have voice lessons, but
oh my goodness,
evidently my father's father was a cantor. I never got to meet him, but he was a singer, and my father always sang, and my mother always, and my brother always sang, my older brother. So I got to see him doing shows when I was little.
Oh, really? Okay.
So he was doing all these shows in school. I just must have got the bug or something.
Now, did he ever carry it any further?
He just is a really good singer, and he does all the shows now. He's a senior as well, and he's older, so he does all these great shows with all his friends and his group,
but nothing
and his community.
Professional.
He didn't really go professional, except he always sang in the temple choirs.
Oh, okay.
And so did my father's, and they did get paid for that. So
really?
That was kind of back in the day, they had the choir singing, and they would pay you.
Wow.
So. Not on Shabbos, but afterward. So.
Shabbos is on Saturdays.
Right, Shabbat.
From Friday night to Saturday night in the Jewish religion, the Orthodox Jewish religion.
Right.
So you also did, and I love the name, you were Ralph in HMS Pinafore. When was that?
I think I was about 12. Was it 6th grade or something, or the 5th grade? And they were doing the play in school, and I got the part of the boy sailor because I had this clear... clear, like I'm a soprano, but I can sing low too. But when I was younger, it sounded like a boy tenor or something. So I got to play a maiden for to see, da 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 da, as a little boy. And I vaguely remember it, but I found pictures of myself doing it with the cast around me, and I was like, wow, I really was like one of the leads in the play.
Yeah.
Before that, I had been a haystack in Oklahoma.
Oh,
and I was like about 4 or 5.
I love it.
Had to lay at the front of the stage. My brother was in the play, and I was the haystack.
Oh, that's
funny. That kind of.
Listen, very important to have a haystack that works.
Exactly.
So the main thing that I was interested in was that you traveled and were with such phenomenal people as you had more experience and went on in your career. Bob Dylan, Glenn Campbell, Barbara Streisand, and the highlight tour, Bette Midler. Please tell me about those people and the tour.
I thought they would not hire me.
Why is that?
Because I look similar to Bette Midler. And so
I would think they would have hired you like a backup or something like that.
Well, the Harlettes are her 3 girls that sing, dance, and act as a foil to Bette.
Okay.
And do, and surround her with all the action that's going on. And so when I auditioned for that, I thought, they're not going to give me the job because I kind of look similar. Because I had been singing and people kept saying, you remind me of Bette Midler, you remind me of Bette Midler. I was like, who's Bette Midler?
Oh, no,
because
you
back
didn't
in
know?
the day, I didn't know. It's like in the 70s, in the early 70s, mid-70s when I was doing this and singing. She was in New York doing stuff, and I was already moved to LA.
Okay.
So I didn't really know. I had heard of her, and people kept referring to her. And so, anyway, I ended up getting the job. And it was fun. And I got the job with Linda Hart, who's an extremely talented, amazing woman, who's to this day still my best friend, and Katie Segal, who went on to become Peg Bundy, who was a dear friend of mine. We had been in a band together and got a record deal.
Oh, my goodness.
So that was, anyway, we ended up going around the world with Bette Midler.
Wow.
And it was absolutely amazing. And the show.
For how long? For how long?
It was about 3 years. On and off, and then I ended up, we did the last thing, the big Broadway show, Divine Madness.
Oh.
So I got to play Broadway.
Oh, my God. And what did you do in that? You were the Harlot?
The Harlots, yeah. And what's amazing is, I met my husband at the beginning, Andrew McCartney.
Let's hold for that. That's a dive bomber.
Yeah, it is. It's coming straight for the roof, I think.
Yeah. So, is that your meeting? You met your husband. What do we want to back it up to?
Yeah.
Start again. What was your last question, Pete?
Touring,
Touring,
during the tour, you met your husband, so
How
it was
long
something.
were you touring with around the world?
right.
You
Now?
hear faintly, he hears it like a roar in the headphone.
Yeah, it's gone now. So
Okay.
just go ahead and pick it up.
Okay.
Thank goodness for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so what was the last question, Pete?
So how long did you tour with the group, with Bette Midler?
It was about 3 years on and off.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
yeah, we went around the world.
Right.
Then we came back, and then we went on a European television tour with just Bette and the Harlots and her music director.
Wow.
Then we came back, and then we did a U.S. tour,
Oh,
which
my.
culminated on Broadway.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was the whole family got to see that because I'm
Oh,
from
my.
From New York.
Oh, my
so,
God, that would be
and
great.
I met my husband at the beginning of the tour going around the world. He's
Oh.
from Scotland.
Oh, so was my dad.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
But you're not a McCartney.
No, no.
yeah.
I'm a Rigmund.
Wow. Wow, it's such a coincidence. So many people from Scotland. It's
I know.
amazing. You can't believe it. It's such a small country.
So
But-
how did you meet him, though?
He is a professional audio engineer, a
Okay.
sound engineer, and he was in the sound crew when we got to London and played the London Palladium, which was absolutely incredible
Oh. Wow.
to be on that stage. He was one of the sound crew. And then we toured all over Europe together with that
Wow.
crew.
Okay.
We fell in love.
Oh.
And then the Bette Midler tour went off to Australia,
And?
and that sound crew stayed behind.
Okay.
But he kept writing me love letters and stuff. And,
I love
and
it.
then as soon as we got back to America finally, it was like a little before Christmas when we got back to America, he kept in touch and was calling and he said, I'm coming to America. That's it, we're getting married. And he just
Now,
dropped
was
everything.
he British?
Yeah.
But I know he's from
but
Scotland.
Scottish is
but
considered, British.
But then he was in England.
He was in England
Okay.
working, in London working.
Okay.
On the,
Okay.
Yeah, so he came over
And
and moved in on me.
I love it.
And I said that I wouldn't get married until we knew each other for a year, being a very sensible, practical girl.
Okay.
So a year later,
You're married.
we were on Broadway,
Oh.
and my family said, we'll throw you the wedding while you're here. And they did. So while I was playing Broadway, on the
Right.
weekend, on Sunday, we had a huge wedding.
Oh,
And the
that's
whole cast and
fabulous.
crew came to the wedding, and
Oh.
we got married.
How long were you on Broadway?
There was like a 6 or 7 week run.
Okay.
And we're still married. 40 years
40 years.
coming in December.
You should have another 50 years.
Thank
I'd
you.
love it.
Thank
love
you.
it. So, what about LA theater? I mean, you've
So-
done a lot. Hello, Dolly, I think.
Yeah. So, well, like we came back from the touring, and then I had toured with Tanya Tucker and Glenn Campbell
Oh.
and Susie Quattro. I had been touring, and
And
Andrew.
what did you do with them?
Singing, just
country,
doing backups, doing
country,
backups.
right?
Yeah, doing
Okay.
the U.S. tours and stuff. And so I was on the road, and then Andrew was on the road, and so we kind of bump into each other.
But that's great, though, for
So-
a good marriage.
Well, but we both felt like, yeah. So I said, you know what? I love theater. Why don't I do some more theater stuff? Because I had been doing theater stuff as a kid, and
Okay.
I thought. So he still was going on the road, and I went in and auditioned for Hello, Dolly, starring Joanne Worley.
Oh,
Amazing.
okay.
At the Long Beach Civic Light Opera. And I got into the cast, and there really wasn't a solo part for me. So they
Right,
asked me
okay.
to be in the ensemble. They were very gracious, and if you've seen Hello, Dolly, you
Yes.
know that ensemble is a
Correct.
hell of an
Yes,
ensemble
it is.
show
And they're
for
there all the
singing and
time.
dancing.
All
And
the
I mean,
time.
it was
Right.
amazing. So, and they said, maybe you'll be Joanne's understudy. So I was like, oh, okay. whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Of course, she would never miss a performance anyway. But it turned out I was in the ensemble. It was an amazing experience.
And how long
And-
was that run?
I can't even remember. It was a few weeks.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't even. Please, you know how the mind is. No. Anyway, that was great. And then I went on to start more auditions for,
Okay.
but a lot of stuff is equity waiver back in the
Yeah.
day when it was called equity waiver.
Right.
So I was doing the different plays in different theaters all over Los Angeles to learn and to keep my chops up
And
to,
so, and where was Andrew at that time? Still
he
traveling?
was on the road, he was
Just-
traveling, he was touring because he's incredibly talented at what he does and an amazing man.
And what about
And-
children?
And we never had children. We were waiting. We were like,
I
let's
get
do
it.
that later.
I
Let's do
know.
that later. And
Yeah.
and
on,
then
on your return trip
yeah, one day
there for
I
a minute.
said, honey, I think it's later. I think we better do this if we're going to do this. Anyway, it didn't turn out. But we have dogs.
Oh,
and
now
we
what
love
kind of
our
dogs
dogs.
do you have?
Well, right now I have the most beautiful little Chihuahua, and my girl, my wire hair fox terrier, just recently passed.
Oh.
Sophie, she was wonderful.
Well,
So-
we're going to bring on stage in a few weeks, maybe, with my partner. We're going to bring on our new addition to the family, an Australian Labradoodle, who literally thinks she's the queen of the house. So, actually, right now she is.
Oh, you've got competition
I got
now.
confident, big time.
Teddy, right? You named her Teddy?
Teddy, big time competition.
Sweet.
And what happens is I always say, come here, and isn't he a good dog? And Chaplain Dove goes, honey, it's a girl. You're going to give her such a complex because it's a girl, and whatever. But I forget. Now, what is the Maskers Club?
Oh, the Maskers Club was amazing. It was in a building on, is that Orange? In Hollywood, right off Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay.
There was this old house.
Yeah.
And all the huge famous actors were a member of that club.
Oh.
And downstairs was the most beautiful, huge bar that was old wood. It was
Oh,
a
my
really
goodness.
famous, like Anthony Caruso and all the big actors in
Wow.
Hollywood. And that was where they all met and
Okay.
drank. And then it had that little theater upstairs, and they did
Oh.
all this stuff. And it's gone now. I can't believe in LA they kind of tear down stuff. Which,
Well, and what did you do there? Sing?
there was, I auditioned for a play
Okay.
that was called Hollywood.
Oh.
And I auditioned for, the character, the Goonie Ditzy character.
Right.
So I got that part, and it was wonderful. And it was an original musical. And
Oh,
this
my.
guy, Lou Vitacco, who I've lost touch with. I don't know where he is now. But it was an amazing play.
Right.
And there was a lot of really talented people in it. And we did it in the Maskers Club in their theater.
Oh, Maskers
So
Club.
it was kind of like an honor to work there.
Yeah.
So if you look it up, you'll see it was
I'm
really
I'm definitely gonna look it
hugely
up.
famous and beautiful. I don't know, they must have moved that bar somewhere because they would not destroy it. I mean, it was gorgeous.
Wow. And then you also do a one-woman show.
Yes, I do.
And
They,
what is the premise of that? Because
So-
most people have a premise on when they do a one-person show.
Well, the first time I did it, it was called Franny Sings on Sunset. There was a little club. It was actually in the Pacific Palisades on
Okay.
Sunset Boulevard, and I was asked to perform there. And so that's where the picture from on my CD,
Yes.
me sitting on the piano, I was singing a number on the
Oh,
piano.
As
That was
Is.
in that, yes.
That's by the way, it is a great album.
Thank you.
As is with fabulous songs. Tell us where they could get that if they wanted
So
to.
FrannyMcCartney.com.
Okay.
You can go there. That's my website, and you can find out information about stuff that's going on that I'm doing.
Good.
Singing with the Randy Van Horn Singers.
Yes, I'm going to tell them about that. We have talked
and
about that.
and whatever I'm doing, I put
Okay.
it on there. And or I'm on CD Baby. I'm on iTunes. I'm on what's the streaming one? You could pull it up and get music. You could.
mean
I'm on
YouTube?
there.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Spotify.
Spotify. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, from the Peanut Gallery. Yeah. So you could just, if you put Franny McCartney in, you could. I'm on all the internet outlets and all that. So.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And the album is with Howlett Smith, a genius of a composer, piano player,
good.
arranger. He's the one that I did that album with, and I called it As Is because it's just 3-piece combo acoustic.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't add any sweetening. I didn't add any strings or horns.
But
so
it
it's
worked.
as is.
Wow.
Yeah, he was amazing, and so just piano, bass, drums.
I always wondered, how long does it take to do an album?
Well, It depends.
Okay.
It took me a long time because I rehearsed. I'm a rehearse person.
Okay.
I really want to know what I'm doing.
Right.
And I want to have it down, especially musically.
Yes.
So it took me a couple of years to choose the music, to work on the music and all that. And then finally, when I had chosen all the music, I did 7 of his original songs on there.
Oh, my.
And then
That's a lot.
he has more songs that were so fantastic, but he said, let's add some commercial tunes. So,
Okay.
but I like eclectic music, like
know.
Arthur Murray. I
Yeah.
like odd, weird.
Well, I was going to say odd, weird, but they're funny.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that they're like so far out that you
Right.
don't get it.
I like the patter tunes with lots of words, and you got to talk really fast, and you've got to, and I want you to enjoy what I'm doing.
Right.
I enjoy
You're
it,
enjoying
and
it,
I
you want the audience
you
to.
to enjoy it. I feel like, to me, that's what I want for the world.
What is the national? You do a choir?
Oh,
What
the
is that?
in choir.
Pardon me.
The National In Choir. So about 30 years ago, these two fabulous women, Debbie Pearl and Rosemary Butler, who are singers, writer, they do everything. They decided they wanted to give back and do benefit music. So they put together this choir of mainly professional singers.
Right.
And anyone who can hold a note and hold a tune can join us. And every Christmas, they book the choir into the Children's Hospital, down at the Mission, the VA. We sing at the VA.
Oh,
Yeah,
fabulous.
it's wonderful, and it's called the National In Choir. So every Christmas, coming up again soon, we all
Right.
get together, and everybody can sing. We have the book, and we sing all these great Christmas songs and carols, and
How do you go Christmas Day?
we have it's
'Cause we
every,
go
it's every
Christmas
weekend.
Day.
It's every
Okay.
weekend. To the VA, it's probably the weekend before that. And we go to the federal one and the state building
Right.
in the VA on West LA over there in Westwood. And we spend like the whole, pretty much from the morning to the afternoon there, and do a couple of shows there. But we just get together, and it's just so joyous.
Oh, yeah.
Singing there, hospitals, children, the Mission. We do the big feed usually downtown, where people are lined up for Christmas
for
dinner.
Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's usually Christmas Eve day, and we sing to them as they're waiting online to go in.
Oh, and how many
we
in
give
the
them
gr-
toys.
how many in the
We
group?
give the kid.
How many in the group?
It varies. It's whoever can make it, because a lot of
Okay.
them are professional
Yes.
singers. So if they have other gigs, they can't make it. So whoever shows up, and we all just get down there and just sing to everybody every weekend. That's usually the weekend stuff. And then
I
we've
think
done
that-
Cedar Sinai and all kinds of stuff.
I think that's fabulous. Well, you certainly have had a career filled with different, first of all, different genres of songs, different people. I mean, Bob Dylan, I mean, how was he to work with?
Yeah, he was absolutely amazing.
And Glenn
that was-
Campbell? I mean,
Glenn Campbell I ended up singing with because I was with Tanya Tucker. And Tanya Tucker, I was on the road with Tanya Tucker on a bus tour. It was a bus and plane, And Glenn was her boyfriend at the time.
oh my goodness, we're getting information here, okay.
inside information. But so he would come with us, and he's of Scottish descent. And so he went crazy over my husband because being
wow.
from Scotland,
Right.
he loved Andrew. So anyway, so he was always around when we were singing. He'd come and sing, but singing with Bob Dylan was really wonderful. I mean, he was one of my childhood idols, and I'm so glad he won the Nobel laureate
Yes,
for
yes.
Literature, poetry, and that.
Now you're singing with a group called the Randy Van Horn Singers.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, because Chaplain Dove and I have come down to see them all the time with you, and they are fabulous.
Yeah. Well, Randy Van Horn was an amazing big band arranger. And so he then decided to do vocals.
Okay.
And he took the big band arrangements and transferred them to vocals. So in other words, like I'm singing soprano, that's a trumpet. And this one is this. And so basically, and he does all these great swinging tunes.
Right.
And he did all these great arrangements. And his group back in the 50s were the consummate studio performers.
Oh, okay.
Like Thurl Ravenscroft, who did Tony the Tiger, that bass guy, he was in the group. Marnie Nixon, who dubbed for what's that? All the movies. She did all the movies. Little Eliza Doolittle.
Oh, okay.
And all that. So all these back in the day when they used to. Well, they still do it probably.
Yes, they do.
Where they have professional singers singing for the actor.
Yes, they do.
Marnie Nixon and all the. I mean, amazing singers were in the Randy Van Horn Singers, and he just continued this through. And they were on the Nat King Cole show.
Oh my goodness, I didn't
They were the
realize that.
background singers on the Nat King Cole show. So back in the day, he had all this group, and then it kind of, as the years went by,
Right.
it just disbanded. And in 2000, Randy was still alive. Randy Van Horn was still alive. He decided he wanted to put the group back together again to sing his charts. He's got like they're 8-part charts. In other words, the vocals are for 8 different parts.
Okay.
2 sopranos, 2 alt, down the line, and they're pretty difficult because they're swinging jazzy charts. And he decided he's going to put the group back together again, and he brought back some of the old singers and got all these new singers. And in 2004, I was asked to join, and I couldn't believe how great this music is.
Well, they were the times that we've seen them. I mean, with you and with everyone in it, just fabulously entertaining. Different songs, I mean, different genres and everything.
Yeah.
And it's a nice atmosphere and a nice little restaurant.
We love each other. We love to sing together. Music is harmony, and the harmony of the togetherness is just such a joy to those of us doing it and giving it to you. We want you to
Well,
be
I
there.
think you did that today for us. I think you gave us a lot of joy with your singing and with your delightful personality. You really are personable, but you're dedicated to something that I always thought that was the best thing in the whole world, was entertaining people. And that's what you do, Franny McCartney.
And so do you. You're wonderful.
Well, when I come back, I want to be like you, okay? Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in all the time and watching Pink Lady Presents Fabulous Lives Well Lived, because it ain't over till we say it's over. God bless everyone. Thank you. See you next time.
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh